Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here.
In recent years, I've fallen out with the Assassin's Creed franchise. Now, I'm not saying that I think they're bad games by any means. I just really haven't felt all that compelled to get back into the series. Some of that has to do with the settings that the games have chosen. They didn't really interest me all that much personally, but the innovations brought on by Assassin's Creed Origins and the follow-up title, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, seriously piqued my interest. They did so from both a gameplay innovation and mechanical standpoint, but also a narrative and thematic one. This brings us to the most recent Assassin's Creed game announced, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where you get to play as Vikings, which finally, what the fuck took so long? Now, of course, because it's 2020, things can't all be fun, we can't all enjoy something. Kotaku has yet again decided to rear its ugly blue-haired soy-sipping head to let you know that you are sexist. Yes, viewer, you are a problematic individual. Join me in today's video where we take a look at yet another battle of historical accuracy versus artistic expression and a stiflingly moronic Kotaku article that claims that sexist gamers are mad that women will be playable in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all the while they do so without a shred of evidence to support their claim. Kotaku is a site that never ceases to amaze me with their stupidity. It truly knows no bounds. They are the gift of shocking incompetence and total retardation that keeps on giving. Kotaku has spent many years amassing the greatest games journalist in the industry to bring you such articles as Are Legos Sexist?, where the writer Patricia Hernandez explains how they are meant only for cis-het males because some Legos have pegs and other Legos have holes. This clearly means it is with absolute certainty that Legos are perpetuating rape culture along with the dominance of men over women. Who knew that women were being victimized by Legos all of these years? I guess I better call all of my female cousins I grew up with while playing Legos with them and apologize for 6-year-old me oppressing them with my shittily crafted Lego boat, the SS Misogyny. Or perhaps you might be interested in what Kotaku has to say about film and TV. Do you like anime?
俺のクローゼットの中にユダヤ人が2人いるんだ。両方とも死んでる。
Well, don't worry, they have you covered. Like this article, If you love shirtless anime boys, watch Free by Richard Eisenbess. But beware the evil girl animes, which is pointed out here by Cecilia D. Anastasio, where she tells you the horrors of the anime where anime girls fight with their butts and boobs. So, of course, Kotaku, being the fair and objective news site that they are... Wait, what's that? They're not objective? How do you know that? Oh. Jason Rat Schreier, the former editor of Kotaku, believes that objectivity is not something to strive for, and in fact, it's silly to do so. And to that, Jason, I say, you are a fucking moron. Kotaku doesn't have the best grip on reality. That's something that the leftist writers and the readers over at Kotaku have in common, I suppose. History is something that they also find problematic. If you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, you'll know how intense and harrowing the opening scene from that film is. Scores of young men cut down on D-Day as they attempted to storm the beaches of Normandy to liberate France and fight back against Hitler and his Nazi war machine. While the entire movie is full of incredible acting, beautiful cinematography, and action that has not been topped in a war movie since its release, it was missing one major thing, one critical element was left out of that masterpiece of a film. Where was all of the wahmen? Kotaku asked this question: is historical accuracy more important than diversity and inclusion? And the answer to that is an unquestionable yes. Yes, it is. This brings us to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The Assassin's Creed series has always had its roots in history. The games take place throughout multiple time periods and include many historical figures who would have been around during those times. The same can be said for the level design, the weapons, the enemies that you encounter in each game. I mean, I could go on and on. Can you imagine fighting, I don't know, let's say pirates from Assassin's Creed Black Flag while you're trying to play Assassin's Creed Origin, which is set in ancient Egypt? No, because that would be inaccurate. That wouldn't make any sense, and it would have a serious negative effect on your immersion. Thankfully, the developers do their best to maintain that sense of immersion while you're playing the game. While they do take some creative liberties, the games remain mostly faithful to historical times in which that they're portraying. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, Kotaku seems to have an issue with historical facts. They would put diversity and inclusion absurdly ahead of historical accuracy, and they are here to tell you that women exist, so
you gotta deal with it!
But there's a strange thing about all of this. No one is actually upset about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So what the hell are they talking about? Ian Walker has decided to pen this absurd article titled Assassin's Creed Valhalla devs preemptively shut down bullshit concerns about female Vikings. Now, I've spent a good amount of time online trying to find instances of where mass groups of gamers are upset about female Vikings being playable in the game, and yet I find nothing. Search online for yourself, because I'm genuinely curious as to where this premise put forth by Ian and Kotaku is actually coming from. The article cites no evidence of this completely fabricated outrage, just so Ian here can virtue signal into the rest of his echo chamber full of soy-filled blue-haired social justice warriors. The article starts off with a fantastic opening line, truly groundbreaking stuff here. Are you ready for it? Women exist. This is a basic fact of life. No shit, Ian. The moron then goes on to say that this has always been an issue from what he calls reactionary gamers, which is just his way of saying that anyone that opposes the disease that identity politics is that's been plaguing the gaming and entertainment industry. The only problem is, exactly who is opposing this? The article then goes on to talk about how Ubisoft has worked with historical consultants for this game, which is something that they've always done, mind you, to ensure the authenticity of women warriors in the Vikings age. And to no one's surprise, the historical facts are blurry when it comes to female Vikings fighting on the battlefield. Now, with that being said, there are countless representations of female warriors from the age of the Vikings that can be found in modern pop culture. Starting off, we have shield maidens, fierce and highly skilled warriors on the front lines of battle. Possibly the best example of shield maidens can be found in the History Channel show Vikings, which is highly addicting, by the way. I highly recommend giving it a watch. Next, we have the Valkyries, which have recently been portrayed in both Thor Ragnarok as well as the newest God of War game. Valkyries play an incredibly important part in Norse paganism. They are the beings who would escort worthy Viking warriors who were slain during battle to Valhalla, which is essentially the Norse version of heaven, only with tons of battles for them to revel in and a feast at the end of each day that would make the likes of Matt Jarbo drool until every ounce of saliva left his body.
I want you to say right now to the fucking to the stream for Dame Pesos. I want you to say, "I am sorry, I am a soy-filled bitch," and flagged your fucking videos.
I am sorry. I am sorry that I flagged them.
No, for doing what you did. I am sorry, I am a soy-filled bitch, and flagged your videos.
I'm sorry, I'm a soy bitch. There we go.
Put it on the soundboard.
Turn off that pesky ad block.
And lest we forget the many female goddesses such as Freya, the goddess of love, fertility, war, and death. Frigg, the goddess of motherhood and marriage. Also, two goddesses featured in the Thor films from Marvel, Sif, who was the goddess of fertility, and Hela, the goddess of the dead. There is, at bare minimum, a mythological reason for women to be featured in the game. Not just featured, but also playable. Look at the most recent Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You'll find mythological beasts in the game. The developers are not known for limiting themselves strictly to the realm of realism, and that is to the game's benefit. And again, it leaves me asking the question, who exactly is upset about this? Ah, yes, it's all of the sexist gamers which Ian has so conveniently left out of this article. As you all know, anyone who wishes to have some historical accuracy in their games and media are nothing more than gatekeeping sexists. Ian even brings this up by referencing Battlefield 5's controversy when they pushed identity politics into their game. You all remember the hook-armed Norse women fighting on the front lines of World War II, don't you? Well, that's what DICE apparently thought World War II was. Here is a main point that I want to highlight from Ian's poorly constructed argument. Battlefield 5 made a big show of its female playable character, putting her front and center on the box art and other promotional material. Despite a long history of women serving in the armed forces, read up on Ludmila Pavlichenko when you get a chance. That decision enraged a small but vocal subset of gamers who described the move's lack of historical accuracy. These complaints, as they so often do, forced the gaming world to relegate obvious facts instead of calling them what they actually were: concerned trolling from consumers who treat every attempt at diversity as a conspiracy to erase straight white cis men. Now, not only does he point out one single Russian sniper, this is an incredibly awful basis for an argument for many reasons, which we're going to get into. First off, the way in which DICE and EA were marketing this game was specifically designed to be virtue signaling garbage, from the featuring of a Norse-esque crippled woman with a hook arm fighting on the front lines, to EA and DICE themselves calling their own customers ignorant because they dared call out for some historical accuracy in a fucking World War II game. I mean, DICE could have gone the full Call of Duty route and allowed black female Nazis into their game, because I guess nothing says equality like letting black women be Nazis, right? Ian, being the mental midget that he is, then goes on to say that trolls were just worried about having white cis men erased from history. Of course, developers and publishers pushing far left agendas don't want any of that. Of course, that's some tinfoil hat conspiracy. Except it's not. There is a mission in the campaign of Battlefield 5 where you play as a young woman who single-handedly destroys a German heavy water facility. Now, the only problem is, that was a real event that took place. Operation Gunnerside, where Norwegian and British Special Commando forces, comprised of white males, destroyed a German heavy water facility. EA and DICE deliberately altered history, and to quote Ian, erased cis white males. You see, the difference between Battlefield 5 and Assassin's Creed is that Assassin's Creed has not marketed itself as the most immersive Viking experience ever, which is exactly what Battlefield 5 tried to do by saying it was the most immersive Battlefield game yet. But that can't be so when you have Hilda Hookarm over here running around smashing people's faces in with a cricket bat. This is yet another instance in which Kotaku and their simple-minded NPCs that write for them are desperately trying to make themselves the victims. After all, professional victimhood is quite the lucrative business model these days. No one is upset with women being in Assassin's Creed. No one is angry that you can play as a female Viking in the game. There was no outrage when Odyssey let you choose your genders. Ian even points this out in his article. He goes as far to say that Cassandra became the face of Odyssey, which... No, she did not. He then goes on to compare Cassandra to Femshep, which is just fucking ludicrous, but that's besides the point. Gamers are not outraged as Kotaku claims because all we want is a game with a good story, a game that has compelling characters that are not being used to push some kind of modern-day political narrative. Despite what Kotaku and other game news outlets may think, gamers are not stupid. We are not ignorant bigots that want to keep women out of games. People are sick and tired of seeing franchises being taken over and run into the ground by talentless political idealists who see these games as yet another tool to push their hilariously flawed and backwards ideology. Women in the Norse age are widely accepted by the general masses to to have been fierce warriors who fought alongside their male counterparts. There are the examples that I had mentioned earlier at the start of this video, and that is precisely why no one is upset with Ubisoft for including a woman as a playable character in this game. For Kotaku to put out an article like this, it is pure bait, and it shows a complete lack of journalistic integrity. But then again, it is Kotaku after all. And that does it for today's video. I, for one, am very much looking forward to this installment of Assassin's Creed. Vikings and feudal Japan are the two time periods that I've wanted to explore in the Assassin's Creed game for years now. As always, I want to know what you think about all of this, so let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel as it really does help me out. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Metal Gear Mando and share this video on social media. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you in the next video.
I just wanna let you know, you're a stupid fucking cunt. Go ahead and run your mouth, pussy, I don't give a fuck. You're a stupid piece of shit, you're a stupid fucking bitch. Get the fuck up off my dick, get the fuck up off my dick. Like, shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt, suck my dick.